Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Night for soccer here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Wonderful, wonderful way to wrap up your weekend with Atlanta United 2 and Philadelphia Union 2, MLS Next Pro live on SDH Soccer Down Here. You can listen to us. Thank you for listening to us on soccerdownhere.net, the SDH app, or Spreaker. Alongside Nick Aliffi, I'm Jarrett Smith. And Nick, we have a matchup today for Atlanta United 2, the last of the month, a very homestand-heavy month, and ending it with Philadelphia Union 2.
Well, the key here is going to be pressure. That's the word of the day. If you're surviving that Philadelphia pressure, what Raffanello, Olney, and Riasco are going to bring to that back line, clean distribution. If Atlanta United can make that happen, the Twos are going to find themselves in very good footing for today.
And when we look at the Philadelphia Union 2 and what they did last week, it's a team that was a lot of seesawing back and forth. It's a team that ended up with a 3-3 draw with Toronto FC2, TFC2. John and I are working on giving names to each of these clubs. Baby Snake might be what we go for TFC. We have OCB. We have the Baby Bulls up in New York. But I digress. Taking a look at what happened with Union last week, it was good, it was bad, and then they rescued at the end. It starts out with the first goal by Raffanello, getting them on the board.
To the outside, nice pass. Inside the 18, cross to the middle, defended there, taking his time, a shot, a goal! What a great rebound goal there for Philadelphia. And Jeremy Raffanello up on the board, 1-0. What a pass. Defended though, but nice patience. Just finding that lower left-hand corner, Jeremy Raffanello.
And after that, it was Philadelphia who again scored, doubling their lead in the first half through Riasco.
The scoreboard here early on in matchday 5 action. Another chance here as that ball is sent way ahead, and Philadelphia with another chance across and a goal! What a fantastic pass to the middle. We got an injured player though, Jose Riasco, foot in the turf. Nice long ball there, great speed. Oh, and he got tripped up there by the keeper, Romero.
However, as is so often the case with these young teams, things got a little out of hand. It was TFC2 who scored 3 unanswered goals in the second half. And then for the Union, Stojanovic, who leads the team in goals this season, comes to the rescue with a chip late to rescue at least a point.
Got some substitutions here for Philadelphia. Oh, and that ball gets away from everybody. And Philadelphia taking advantage of a little miscue there by Toronto's goalkeeper. The long ball getting past the keeper came way out of his net. And Toronto's Luka Gavrin.
Philadelphia would go on, and if you're not familiar with this, it might be a little jarring. Philadelphia would go on and get 2 points in the game because if a game ends tied after 90 minutes. We go straight to a shootout, and the winning team gets a second point. The losing team walks away with just 1 point. So they get away with 2 points. However, last week Atlanta did them one better when Atlanta United 2 took on OCB. The Little Cats out there in Orlando picked up a good win for Atlanta United 2 in their first matchup with OCB, and it was Nicholas Firmino, who has been on fire for Atlanta United 2 this season, putting the ball away twice.
It's back to Gall. Pressure gives it away to Brennan. Brennan lays it off. Firmino! Goal! 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 Atlanta United 2. Pressure on Jeffrey Gall, and he gives it to Luke Brennan, headed down to Firmino, and his fourth goal of the season for Nick Firmino. Atlanta United 2 leads 1-0 in the 10th minute.
It's actually Chicago that Atlanta gets that first goal against, and then just to make things nice and cozy, it was Firmino again who puts it away and secured Atlanta 3 points for the second game in a row.
Lopez, corner, back post, headed down by Firmino. Goal! 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 Nick Firmino! Fifth goal of the year for Nick Firmino. The man cannot be stopped right now for Atlanta United 2. Coming up clutch. That's the better way to close it out. Go get a second goal instead. Lopez with the corner. Firmino with the header. 2-0 Atlanta United 2.
That was 6 points in 2 games for Atlanta United 2 as they found their groove here early in the season during this very busy homestand-heavy month of April. And a great performance from Atlanta United 2 that they'll be looking to build on tonight. And speaking of tonight, the guy who's going to be carrying you the rest of the way here on the SDH Network, now joined by Jason Longshore. Jason, thanks for joining us. And Nick, I wanted to get your take on this as well as Jason about, how you think this needs to go.
I mean, I think you got to come out hot here if you're Atlanta United too. And what we've seen this season is when they've started slow and struggled to get into the rhythm of a game, they have a hard time finding it because it's a young team. When you're playing a Philadelphia team, Nick, that doesn't want you to have any kind of a rhythm, you've got to come out and almost be a little arrogant with the ball in the first half, in the first 15, 20 minutes to show Philadelphia that you're going to play your game and not be disrupted.
Absolutely. For any of these pressing teams, the first 15 minutes is key. When normally playing out of the back, you would find maybe a little bit of hesitancy in working the ball out. You really do need to be arrogant. You really need to show that you can run at us all you want. All you're going to do is be tired faster because we are very confident with the ball. We will move it smoothly. And the minute you allow Philly to believe that they have something with their press, then you're going to be out of sorts. And that's the key for today. Maintain possession, be arrogant.
And as we look over lineups and look at what we got, Jason, one of the key ones is this actually feeds into the injuries tonight. You don't have Justin Garcia still coming off of ACL injury. You don't have Johnny Vial coming off of a foot injury, and Tyler Young is out. That paves the way for another academy player.
Yeah, Sean Lanza gets his first Atlanta United 2 appearance tonight, starting as a fullback, likely on the right side. The lineup, Vicente Reyes in goal, not a surprise, even though he was with the first team in Nashville yesterday. Aiden McFadden, Efrain Morales, Noah Cobb. They've been clutch on the back line here lately. Tony Tiente comes into the starting lineup, maybe a little bit of a double pivot with Kofi Twumasi, although Tiente will be free to step forward when he can. Eric Centeno earns a start, and he's been great off the bench so far, leading the team in chances created. And Karim Tamimi gets the start up top with Eric Lopez out injured, a high ankle sprain. Tamimi gets his first chance to start. And he's somebody who I think has struggled to get to the speed of play at this level. Starting might actually help him in that regard.
And looking at this lineup and what you've got up top, what does Tamimi bring you that's different from what you're used to seeing with Eric Lopez?
I think it's more, and this is the last one for me before you run through the schedule, and kickoff is just around the corner. Tamimi is – what he's got to do is the things that Eric Lopez has done here lately. Drop in, help the team build when they're under pressure, but also lead the press. Don't let Philly hit that long ball easy. Make it difficult for them to get into their game. You know, they want to launch out of the back line. Tamimi's got to make them pass sideways. He's got to make them have to pass a little bit. That's not in Philly's bag.
And thanks, Jason, for joining us. And Jason will take a break now before coming back to call the game. Nick, looking at the Philly lineup, did anything stick out to you?
The key thing for me is going to be is Raffaello. That is the person who Atlanta United really needs to keep an eye on, both from the build-up play for Philly and as far as the press goes. The more that you can make them run early on, it diminishes their ability to take advantage of potential 50-50 balls. So to me, the key to this game is going to be the back line and the relationship between the back line and Tomasi for the twos.
Filling out the rest of the Philadelphia lineup, it's going to be Rick in goal, Castillo on the left back, Portela at center back, one who you'll be keeping an eye on, I know, as well, for his Italian and possible German.
Absolutely.
As well. Craig and Westfield filling out the back line. Alvarez, Odata, youth, a 16-year-old coming into the lineup for Philadelphia. Only Vasquez rounding out that midfield. And you mentioned Raffaello and Riasco at the top of the formation for Philadelphia, but again, as you mentioned, I know it's a lot of pressing. It might not look that way to people when they see it in the game.
Right, and it's the keys and the cues for the press could be different, so that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And it's also something where, as Jason said earlier, the last thing you want to do is start getting into a long ball game, because anytime you're dealing with the press, that's what they want you to do. They want you to ditch the ball and turn what would normally be nice, clean, short, high percentage completion passes into 50-50 passes, something that would work into their favor. So be confident with the ball, work with it, and you're going to find opportunities and avenues to exploit the press, and that will allow you a lot of daylight on the back end. And once that happens, it turns into something where the twos can really exploit that to their benefit.
As for Atlanta United, too, after tonight, we mentioned it's been a very home-heavy start of the season. They go on the road next on the 7th of May. They're in Miami. They come home to face Charlotte, who is actually leading MLS Next Pro right now in the Eastern Conference. Then they have a trip to Orlando and a trip to Cincinnati planned. As far as the Union go, the Union stay on the road. They go to the Baby Bowls. They go to Miami, and then they host the New England Revolution on May the 21st. And it's got to be tough, especially for these young teams, to travel this much to stay focused.
Absolutely, yeah. And not just that, but you're talking about very physical teams. And with the way that Philly plays, where it is fast and physical, that wear and tear takes a toll, right? The faster you have to play, the more tired you get, and then what happens is space starts to develop. And if you're a pressing team, the last thing you want is the pressing players to not meet their targets on time, because that space is created, gets exploited, you end up on the losing end.
Well, we're going to pause now to go with the national anthem, and then we will be ready for soccer here with Action at the Fraction. Should make for a fun night here with Action at the Fraction in Kennesaw at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Teams are shaking hands about to take the field, and here to carry you the rest of the way, Jason Longshore and Nick Aliffi.
All right, let's get ready for a little action at the Fraction in Kennesaw State, Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Atlanta United 2 in the all-black with red trim, gold print on the front and back. Philadelphia in the pale yellow and light blue. It's a good-looking kit for Philadelphia, right, Nick?
I actually like the matchup there. I like
do.
the little kit lineups that they have, the light blue. I'm a big fan of it.
I'm a fan. It's a good-looking kit. They will be trying to set the tone early. That's how Philadelphia wants to play things. Their captain, Brandon Craig, first-team player, 19-year-old homegrown. Kofi Twumasi, Atlanta United 2's captain. We've had our coin toss, both teams. Final instructions. You were just talking about it on the pregame, Nick. I mean, for Atlanta United, it feels like the first 15 minutes dealing with what Philadelphia is going to throw at you, that's key.
Yeah, whenever you're dealing with these pressing teams, the very physical teams, the first 15 minutes, they're extraordinarily fresh, right? They're fired up, the adrenaline's going, and that is their prime opportunity to exploit any sort of mistake in the back. So if you are Atlanta United too, you want to make sure that your passes out of the back are cool and confident. Don't let them put you in situations where you make an errant pass, especially to the back or to the middle, and you also don't want to boom it long because their back line is going to be waiting on you. So cool, key, calm, collected passes, that's the key to success.
Excited to see two youngsters today, and Sean Lanza for Atlanta and C.J. Olney for Philadelphia. Two players who have most recently been part of the U.S. U17 lineup. Andrew Rick from Philadelphia, goalkeeper, getting the start today. He's also been with that U.S. U17 group. Philadelphia has established themselves as one of the best academies in Major League Soccer in the country. Atlanta's not far behind.
No, it's one of the great things that you're seeing in the game today with the build out of these academies, the level of player that's being produced out of them. I mean, this is what we have wanted for so many years, and now we have it thanks to leagues like MLS Next Pro.
5 Atlanta United players out of Atlanta's academy. Luke Brennan on the front line, a big part of that. Looks like Brennan is going to be on the right. Centeno will be on the left. Let's kick it for 45 from Kennesaw. Atlanta moving from left to right on your radio dial. They play back to the back line to start. Noah Cobb. Across to Morales. Up the left side of McFadden. Back to Morales. Trying to attract the press a little bit. Morales dribbles past one. Twumasi drops it back to Reyes. Cobb through the lines to Tamimi.
Beautiful.
Tamimi dropping into that pocket of space. Now trying to find a way to advance. Can't find it. Goes backwards to Cobb. Cobb, edge of his defensive third, across to Morales. Morales splits defenders. Picks out Firmino. Firmino's bodied off the ball. Philadelphia back into the middle. Alvarez. Drops all the way back, and Philly resets. Craig goes back to Rick. Andrew Rick, long diagonal up the left side. Header won by Castillo. Cobb runs it down. Reyes clears in front of Olney. Settled by Tamimi near midfield. Loses his footing. Olney drops it back. Philadelphia looking for options. Pedro Alvarez swings it back to the center circle to Brandon Craig. Craig splits the lines. Bounced outside. Philadelphia into the attacking third. Stood up by Atlanta. They work backwards to Portela. Portela, the big 6'4" center back, cuts it back across to Craig. Craig to Westfield. Back inside to Odata. Now back to Craig once again. Atlanta keeping Philadelphia in front of them so far. But here come the Union, trying to get in behind Lanza. Reyes clears at the top of his own 18. Good clearance, too. He picks out Brennan. Brennan into the attacking half down the right. Double team. Luke Brennan puts one player down on the dribble. Tries to get past Castillo. Juan Castillo stands him up.
Seeing some slips early on. something that both teams are probably going to want to address at the half.
Yeah, it's something we see on this turf a lot. It's natural grass, but it's a hybrid surface here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. And this time of year, it gets worn down a little bit because of overuse with spring football, with lacrosse, with Atlanta United 2, Open Cup game on Wednesday. Both players will have to deal with it. Atlanta try to go over top of the turf with a big switch to Brennan. Brennan hits Lanza on the overlap. Lanza, edge of the 18, low cross. Portela cuts it out. Atlanta throw, attacking third.
Fantastic build-up by Atlanta United 2. Working the ball on the wings, drawing Philadelphia out, and finding that space to find some very, very key passing opportunities.
Lanza throws in short to Brennan. Brennan back to Lanza. Sean Lanza spins back, draws a throw. Defended by Alvarez. Lanza to Brennan. Brennan, 1v1 with Castillo. Shakes back to the right. Lanza, cross, cut out at the top of the 6. Philly try to clear, they do. Here come the Union, advancing forward through the middle. Raffanello, his pass intercepted by Tiente. Cobb to Morales, back to Reyes at the penalty spot. Atlanta showing no hesitation to draw Philadelphia's press.
Absolutely not, and that's what you want to see. That's what we talked about pregame.
Confidence on the ball. Noah Cobb really exemplifying that. Squares it to Morales. Raffanello approaches. Tiente there to help in the build-up as well. Reyes. Cobb. Philadelphia gets a little impatient. Starts to chase. Tiente has room to turn and dribble. Tiente forward to Tuamasi. Tuamasi cuts inside on the dribble. Tries to pick out Firmino, but Portela comes away with it.
And something you're seeing with Philly is not blind pressing. They pick their moments. They're waiting a bit. They wait for Atlanta to work into a specific situation, and then they trigger the press.
Cobb heads it back. Morales heads it back one more time to Vicente Reyes. Atlanta's got to win those long balls, have to win the second ball especially. Good job there from Cobb and Morales. Cobb passes forward to Tiente, spins to his left. Looking for the long diagonal, takes a deflection, it falls to Centeno, but the flag is up.
What Atlanta United 2 is doing really well right now, any of these pressing teams, they always want to go vertical, incisive passes or vertical passes. The twos are picking it up, reading it, and shutting down those attacks early on.
Portela sprays it out to the left side to Castillo. Looking for the 1-2 with Olney, but Tiente intercepts. Tiente, square to Kofi Tuamasi. Tuamasi has to dribble past Raffanello, does. McFadden, Morales, edge of the defensive third. Squared to the right to Cobb. Cobb looking for the ball over the top, but Brennan started the run early, knew he was off. Cobb sliced it out for a throw anyway.
The twos taking their chances, trying to send a long ball. It makes that back line of Philly have to stay honest. What the pressing teams want to do is they want to bring that back line as close to midfield as humanly possible. Those long passes, even if it's offside, good thing because it makes their defense hang back, creates more space.
Castillo drops the throw into Portela. Now Rick across to Brandon Craig. Philadelphia getting into the middle third now. Craig bypasses the middle third. Long ball looking for Riasco, but Morales is there instead. Efra dribbles up the left side. Dribbles into a little bit of trouble, but he's got help. McFadden. Cobb. Across to the right to Lanza. Tiente. We were talking about it coming into this with Philadelphia and their 4-4-2. They really like to show a variety of looks in the 4-4-2. At times in the press, Nick, it turns into a 4-2-4.
Mm-hmm. And it's all about creating mismatches for the back line. As you try to work, the press gets triggered. They're trying to create 2-on-1 situations, make you get rid of that ball faster. Try to make your brain work in overdrive to create opportunities and quick turnovers.
Good tackle from Tiente. Regains possession, looking for the ball over the top, but Tamimi started his run early. Trying to find that ball over the top. Game getting a little physical with Lanza and Olney, two USU-17 veterans.
Olney was gesturing to the official, trying to find something out of that. The official said, no thanks, keep playing.
Olney back on his feet. Philly back in possession. Brandon Craig. Square to Portela. Up the left side to Juan Castillo. 20-year-old Colombian cuts in on the dribble. Finds Riasco. But Atlanta finds the second ball. Great ball from Tiente down the right. Luke Brennan pops it over the head of Portela. Luke Brennan dribbling inside. Draws the contact. Hand on the back, but no foul called.
How is there no call on that?
Looked like Portela got the arm on the shoulder of Brennan. Luis Guardia, our referee, does not make the call. Philadelphia earns a throw on the far side.
I'm sorry, that looked to be a textbook foul to me.
Brennan felt the contact, maybe went down a little easily after he felt it, but that usually gets the call. Philadelphia, long throw headed away by Twumasi. Philly drops the second throw back to Craig. Now Portela. Squares back to the right to Brandon Craig. The 19-year-old homegrown, 1 goal, 1 assist this season in MLS Next Pro. Good long diagonal to find Olney.
Castillo
Here come the Union.
By himself over on the wing.
And they play to Castillo. Down the left side, loose touch. That's going to be out for a goal kick.
Two's new to be careful. That's the second time Castillo's been able to work the line by himself.
Be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2. Cobb plays it short to Vicente Reyes and gets it back. Noah Cobb. Efrain Morales just outside his own 18. Cobb. Tiente. Back to Cobb at the top of the arc. Across to Morales. Philly pressing with a line of 4. Cobb tries to skip it through the middle. It's intercepted. Here come the Union. Twumasi tries to recover possession, can't do it. And Riasco gets a foul. A little bit of a late reaction from Jose Riasco. Might have caught a stray arm to the mouth from Kofi Twumasi. So it's going to be a Philadelphia free kick.
So far the no calls have been pretty even. I thought that was a natural movement. The call was made. But Atlanta now has to be very careful not to let their emotions get involved, especially against a physical team, because when you start letting your emotions get involved, cheap fouls can begin to happen. The official's going to start making calls you don't want made.
This free kick is a little over 35 yards out, maybe right on 35. Jeremy Raffanello wants it.
And be careful with the wind. The wind has been up today. Provide extra movement on the ball.
Raffanello on frame. Reyes makes the save. Pushes it over the crossbar. Corner Philly.
It's a fantastic free kick. You really couldn't ask for anything better than that. Fantastic save by Reyes.
Reyes had it the whole way. Made it look a little easier than it was probably. In-swinging corner from the far side. Olney, the short corner option. Corner delivered low to the near post. Firmino clears. Philly throw, still in the attacking third.
This is where Philly want to be.
Not in that situation. They're offside, actually.
A little too excited to be in that situation.
That quick throw and then playing it back to the thrower who has stepped onto the field, David Vasquez. He's in an offside position.
And we say they want to be in that position because the field is compressed. And they can take advantage of those 50-50 situations, put an immediate shot on goal.
Efrain Morales dribbles out after the free kick. Noah Cobb. Lanza popping in through the middle. Interchange with Timimi. Big switch from Tiente over the top. Firmino running onto it. Rick has to head it straight up. Battle for it. Brandon Craig swings at it twice and finally clears. Foul called on Atlanta as they tried to counter press to win it back. Francis Westfield went down. Atlanta United 2 fans are not necessarily thrilled with that call.
Conversations going on right now between the back line of Philadelphia and Rick, the keeper. Probably talking about some responsibilities on picking up the loose runners.
Castillo puts in a cross for Philly, but Cobb cancels it out. And now another free kick for Philadelphia, 35 yards out. Foul on Tuamasi. Young teams sometimes get rattled when calls start to go against them. We'll see how Atlanta United 2 handles it. Raffanello standing over this one. It's shaded over to the right side this time. 4-man wall. Raffanello wide of the far post. Goal kick, Atlanta.
What you have is a half-value wind blowing against the kick, so that can push it down a bit. It appears that's what happened.
Yeah, you can hit it a little bit harder into that wind. Morales squares it to Cobb, top of his own 18. Back to Reyes inside the 18. Philly pressing a little more of a 4-4-2 this time. Morales. Cobb. Trying to draw the pressure here, Atlanta United 2. Morales. Over the top, Centeno making a run in behind. Westfield heads it back to his goalkeeper, Rick. Andrew Rick thought about rolling it out to the right. Didn't like his options. Rolls it to Gino Portela instead. Portela back to Rick. Cross to Craig. Craig, long diagonal. Good ball from Brandon Craig to pick out Castillo. Kind of hung up a little bit. Brennan there to defend. Castillo takes him to the outside. Cross in. Cobb covers it. Passes forward to Tiente.
Beautiful read.
Brennan looking for Firmino down the middle. Nick Firmino, top of the 18. Into the 18. Saved by Rick. Still there for Firmino. Firmino on the right side of the 18. Has to spin back away from the double team. Trapped in the corner. Back heel, and he earns the corner.
Fantastic individual play by Firmino. Had the first shot blocked away, then decides, okay, I'm going to try to buy a little bit of time, let the rest of the attack get down, and then chipped it off for the corner. Can't ask anything else out of him than that. Fantastic play.
Great ball over the top. The timing of the run that time, excellent. Firmino forces the save and then manufactures a corner out of it. Aiden McFadden will take the corner from the near side. McFadden hung around after first team training on Thursday, working on set pieces on his delivery. Let's see how he handles this one. McFadden delivers top of the 6, headed away. Run down. Centeno back to McFadden. Cross, back post by McFadden, headed away by Olney. It's going to be an Atlanta throw right next to the corner flag. It was Westfield who actually got that header. So an Atlanta throw right next to the corner flag on the far side. Opportunity to get back into shape as McFadden comes back across to the left. 17th minute, McFadden looking for options on the throw. No score. Given back to Aiden in the corner. Low cross, easy to deal with, but not dealt with well. It's out from a bad touch by Richard Odata, and a corner on the far side this time for Atlanta. Thought Odata would be able to clear that.
Philly bringing everyone into the box at this point.
No one out as a release valve for Philadelphia. McFadden in swinging corner this time. Loop to the back post. Cleared. Volley. Blocked. Still there for Atlanta. Volley from Centeno. McFadden out wide on the left. He's dispossessed, but he can't. He actually wins it back. McFadden trying to find the cross. Olney there to defend. Olney eventually earns the throw. McFadden almost created another opportunity.
Opportunity was there for him to work through. He's probably going to want that one back, but you can't ask You can't ask anyone to come up and be that release valve for him as for a back pass simply because you don't want to trigger that press and find yourself outgunned.
Philadelphia gets another free kick in the attacking half. This one's closer to midfield. Foul from Tientes. He tried to regain possession. Philadelphia player stays down after the hard landing. It's Raffanello.
At this point, Philadelphia is looking for those fouls to happen. They're going to stay on the ground for a little bit. What they want is to put in the official's mindset, okay, now it's time for a card. And once Atlanta gets a card, then the way that they can defend starts changing, right? So they can't play as physical. They can't play as hard in the 50-50 balls. Atlanta's going to have to be mindful of that.
We've seen this playbook from Philadelphia with the first team before.
Oh, yes.
Brandon Craig will take the free kick. 10 yards inside the attacking half. Craig. Long diagonal, back post. Raffanello heads it across, cleared by Twumasi. Firmino volleys it into the attacking half. Rick doesn't look comfortable with the ball at his feet, knocks it out for an Atlanta throw at midfield.
Very, very poor clearance by Rick. Really sliced the ball, almost Caddyshack style, just south of the half line.
Didn't see the gopher on that one. Maybe next time. Lanza with the throw. Looking for Firmino. Almost falls to Twumasi. Twumasi goes down. No foul called on the challenge from Odata.
Didn't get any of the ball. I'm not sure how that was not called.
McFadden clears. Philly throw on the far side. Yeah, that looked pretty clearly like a foul on the challenge from Odata.
If you're an official, what you're looking for is a change of trajectory on the ball. The ball's rolling in one direction. So there's a slightest bit of deviation on it. Okay, maybe the defender got a bit of the ball. There was no deviation on the ball there. It just seems to me that call was missed. He's going to want that one back.
Here comes Philly, moving it from right to left. Castillo overhits a pass badly. Olney made a run, but Castillo missed him by, I think, 20 yards.
Conservatively.
Goal kick, Atlanta United 2. Efrain Morales on it. Under some pressure, plays it back to Cobb. Cobb looking for the diagonal to Brennan. Flag goes up. Believe he was off that time. We don't have the exact angle on it. I think Brennan started the run a little early.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Again, what we're trying to do is create pressure for that back line. If it's not there immediately, it has to be in the back of their minds. Atlanta's willing, more than willing, to do long passes. Push that back line back just to keep it.
Philly's line about 10 yards inside their half, generally. Long ball from Brandon Craig to Vicente Reyes. Philly will step up and press. Cobb in possession at the top of the 18.
Philly letting Atlanta bring the ball out a little bit.
Yeah, they're mixing up their press in different ways. Atlanta's also trying to attract it. It's interesting, the chess match. Cobb looking for Brennan. Finds him onside this time, but Rick's able to clear. Flicked on by Olney. Tiente touches it forward to Sean Lanza. Lanza, Twumasi, Tiente, back to Cobb.
Excellent work.
22nd minute, no score. Atlanta and Philadelphia, match day 6 in MLS Next Pro.
Atlanta doing exactly what they need to do. Work the ball around, make Philly expend energy. As the game goes on, that press is going to get a little weaker, and you're going to find gaps that you can exploit for those long passes and those quick breakthroughs.
Noah Cobb back on it after getting a short pass from Reyes. Gives it back to him. Vicente, top of zone 18. Square to Cobb. Cobb, long diagonal to the left this time. McFadden goes up in an aerial duel with Westfield. Westfield wins it. Philadelphia into the attacking half. Vasquez spins back inside. Drops it to Odata. Westfield. Philly. Find Raffanello. Chests it down. Plays it to Vasquez. Vasquez, top of the 18. Looking for the left foot. Shot caught by Reyes. David Vasquez. Good 1-2 with Raffanello, but Reyes makes the save.
A little bit of a slip caused a mismatch there on the back line. He had 1-to-1. Shot was able to get away. Reyes, fantastic save.
Cobb and Morales, two-man game. Trying to get Philly to step. Back to Morales. Cobb. Here comes the Union press. Cobb drops it over the top down the right. Tamimi touches it towards Brennan. Tamimi fights for the second ball. Good tackle there from Portela. Then he falls on top of Tamimi. I think he fell on Tamimi's face. No foul.
Nothing.
The first tackle was clean. Rick clears through the middle. Here come Philadelphia. Riasco. Olney down the left side. Into the 18. Olney early cross. That's easy for Vicente Reyes. Olney rushed it.
Olney rushed it with more of an incisive pass. If he had gone more horizontal, he might have found something a bit better for him. But I'm still going back to that WWE move that happened over here.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of an elbow drop from Portela. Cobb. Tamimi. Back to Cobb. Noah Cobb. Morales. Philadelphia, a few yards inside their own half. Atlanta tries to go over the top of it. Centeno making the run, but it's into the arms of Andrew Rick.
The goal kicks have gone toward Morales, and Morales has sent it back or horizontal. That is, I've seen so far, that seems to be the trigger for Philly's press.
Portela gets it from Craig. Bombs it up the left side. Olney trying to get in behind Lanza, but Cobb is there to clear.
Read perfectly, even though he sent it out of bounds. Cobb, that's exactly what you need, because what did Philly do there? They expended a ton of energy getting down the field on that break. Got really nothing out of it except a throw-in position.
Castillo. Riasco. Back to Castillo. Castillo 1v1 with Lanza. Lanza wins it. Brennan trying to dribble out, earns a foul. First foul of the night on Philadelphia. Lanza to Cobb. Cobb across to Efrain Morales. Morales one more time to McFadden. Back to Efra. And across to Cobb. Cobb picks out Centeno in some space on the right, puts it over his head. Westfield will take the throw quickly. Raffanello chests it down. Vasquez trying to hit the through ball. It's behind Olney. Lanza slides, knocks it off of Olney. Olney into the 18. C.J. Olney, cross, headed away by Morales. Centeno knocks it back to McFadden. McFadden heads it into space for Centeno to chase. Philly will let that ride for a throw. Odata. Craig has to pop it into the air under pressure from Tamimi. McFadden heads it forward. Odata almost gives it away. Rick's able to clean it up. Long ball from Rick, headed forward. Cobb clears. Battle for it. It goes all the way back to Andrew Rick. Philly almost got the pinball action they wanted. 27th minute, no score. Atlanta and Philadelphia. Andrew Rick. Square ball to Gino Portela. Up the left side to Castillo. Dribbles inside, nowhere to go. Portela there to support. Odata. Across to Francis Westfield, the 17-year-old. Plays forward. Morales wins the aerial duel with Raffanello. Philly throw, edge of the attacking third on the right.
So far, Cobb doing a fantastic job on the back line, coming into support on whichever side the ball comes on, making sure that that ping pong action that you spoke about a minute ago doesn't happen for Philly.
Vasquez floats across to the back post. That's an easy catch for Vicente Reyes in front of C.J. Olney. Rolls it out short to Cobb. Here's Atlanta casting the line, trying to get Philly to come chase. Cobb. Lanza. Back to Cobb. Cobb dribbles forward. Back to the right to Lanza. Back inside to Cobb. They want to get Raffanello and Olney out of position. They didn't bite. Squared across to the left to Morales. Finds Tuamasi. Quick ball to Tiente. Down the left side for McFadden. Great ball from Tiente. McFadden tries to dribble inside of Westfield. Can't do it. Rick clears. Headed forward by Vasquez. Morales with a good dual one at midfield. Nick Firmino. Squares to the right near midfield to Lanza. Forward to Brennan, but that's intercepted by Castillo. Here comes Juan Castillo. 3v3 for Philadelphia. Castillo, pass intercepted by Cobb. And Cobb clears and keeps it in. Here comes Brennan. Firmino. Overlap from Brennan. Firmino pulls it back looking for help. Firmino dribbles around Castillo, plays it back to Lanza. Good reset there by Atlanta. Cobb to Morales. 29th minute now. Still no score. Morales. Bad ball inside to Centeno, but a foul is called on Vasquez.
In that last sequence, Cobb doing everything you want to do, everything you want to have a center back do in that position. He handled the pressure extraordinarily well, put the ball in, not just downfield, but made a usable pass out of it as well. That's going to be the stuff that's going to get you to the first team very quickly.
Noah Cobb on that MLS deal, getting significant minutes for Atlanta United too this season. Brennan, Lanza, Brennan into the attacking half now. Brennan fouled. Free kick Atlanta. About 35 yards from goal, wide to the right. Luis Guardia gives the no more signal. Not sure if that's kind of to everybody in general. That's a foul by Alvarez. Atlanta plays the free kick quickly. Tiente across to the left to Aiden McFadden. McFadden forward to Centeno. Centeno wants that 1v1, gets the 1v1, dribbles up the end line. Centeno into the 18. No foul. No penalty.
How?
No play on the ball either. Morales heads it forward to McFadden. Inside, can't find Firmino. Alvarez clears. Out wide on the right, trying to find a way out. Good counter pressure from Atlanta. McFadden regains possession. McFadden thrown to the ground. Referee's got to get control of this one. Guardia shows a yellow to McFadden and the Philadelphia player. McFadden was thrown to the ground off the ball.
Well, first thing, I don't understand how that wasn't a penalty back there, because that was a completely textbook call. And then here, McFadden getting thrown to the ground, yet again like a street fight, and yellows get shown to both.
Also a yellow card to Atlanta United 2, number 37.
Yeah, McFadden got up and he got the yellow for the reaction. Believe it's Westfield who got the yellow for Philadelphia. Centeno dribbled past Odata in the corner, got into the 18, sliding challenge. Ball was not touched. Guardia waved it off immediately. Not sure how that one played out.
McFadden has to be careful here as well. I know he's fired up, but at the same time, you're sitting on a card. You don't want to do anything that's going to provoke the ref any further.
Yeah, you got to remember, Aiden McFadden's a Westchester, Pennsylvania guy. Not a fan of these tactics. Was not part of the Union's academy. He squares it inside to Cobb. Cobb floats it into the 18. Morales header caught by Rick.
Watch on.
Quick distribution, counter. Rick to Olney. 3v4 developing for Philly. Jose Riasco cuts inside on his right foot. Shepherded by Lanza. Pass intercepted by McFadden. Tamimi turns, goes into the attacking half. Kareem Tamimi Out wide to the left. Nick Firmino. Firmino, corner of the 18. Into the 18. Step over. Tries to cut inside. Comes off the boot of Craig. Cleared by Alvarez. Philadelphia, their turn to attack.
Olney
Big diagonal to Olney. Brings it down. 1v1 with Lanza. Inside to Raffanello. Raffanello, square ball across. Vasquez looking for a foul. Doesn't get it. Twumasi comes away with it. Splits two defenders to Firmino. Back to Kofi Twumasi. Twumasi bodied off the ball. No foul there. Raffanello through the center circle. Match is all over the place at this point. Westfield forward to Vasquez. Back to Westfield. 33rd minute. No score. Lots of fireworks. Gino Portela. Up the left side to Castillo. Alvarez finds Raffanello. Odata. Westfield on the right now for Philadelphia. Still in the middle third. Back to Odata. Further back to the left to Portela. Portela up the left flank to Castillo. Into the attacking third now. Castillo cross. Cobb heads it away. To the right. Headed down by Alvarez. Vasquez. Cross with the left foot. Cobb wins the aerial duel with Riasco. Brought down. Volley wide from Olney.
Very, very dangerous volley from Olney. Pulled it just wide to the right.
Cobb won the initial aerial duel, but he didn't get any power on the header. It actually fell to Riasco, who headed it across to Olney. Olney went full volley and just pushed it wide of that far post. Quick Atlanta goal kick. Cobb on it. Into the 35th minute. Noah Cobb thought about the long diagonal. Wasn't there for Brennan. Is there on the left side for McFadden. McFadden forward to Firmino. Firmino defended by Brandon Craig. Firmino wants to turn the corner on the outside. Great sliding challenge from Brandon Craig.
Atlanta United 2 finding space on the wings.
Centeno gets the throw. Trying to dribble his way through traffic. Finds McFadden. McFadden wants to curl back around to his left. Isn't there as Vasquez knocks it out for a throw. Vasquez, 17-year-old from the Philly Academy. Fourth start of the season for him. Firmino off the throw, back to midfield to Tiente. Across to Sean Lanza. Back to Cobb at midfield. Cobb up the right side to Lanza. Lanza beats Castillo on the dribble, has Brennan down the flank. Brennan, cross. Portela gets a boot to it. Almost found its way to Firmino. Craig slices a clearance out. Philly wins the second ball in the midfield. They look for the ball over the top to Raffanello. Morales able to recover. Raffanello pulls it back. Pass inside. It's a good one to Riasco. Riasco into the 18. Shot right into the breadbasket of Vicente Reyes.
Ranello doing all the work there. Fast on the feet, finding space, putting the ball in a dangerous position. Luckily, Reyes there to collect.
Good positioning from Vicente Reyes on that near post. Riasco puts it right at him. Morales on the ball, top of his own 18, across to Cobb. Cobb, long ball down the right. Brennan dueling with Castillo. Castillo gets the better of it, but then dribbles it out. Atlanta throw. Lanza takes it. Tiente. Tamimi. Back to Tiente. Georgia Gwinnett College connection right there. Efrain Morales across to Aid McFadden. Forward to Firmino. Firmino fakes to the right, spins to the left. Has Centeno out wide. Into the attacking third now. Centeno gets around Westfield, goes down, doesn't get the call once again. Eric Centeno can't buy a call tonight. Not a ton in that one. The question would be if Westfield's arm was out and it impeded him. Rick, goal kick short to Craig. Up the right side to Westfield. Long ball through the middle. Noah Cobb there. Clears. Vasquez comes off of his head. Falls to Twumasi. Twumasi tackled away from him by Vasquez. Back to Portela. Portela forward to Olney. Flicks out wide to the left to Castillo. Juan Castillo passes inside. Raffanello. Back to Castillo. Castillo drops it further back. Alvarez. Across to the right to Craig. Philadelphia all in the attacking half now. Up the right side. Pass comes up short. McFadden heads it down to Centeno. Craig knocks it away from Firmino. Morales wins a header. Alvarez wins a header. Raffanello. Philadelphia back on it. Odata. 25 yards from goal. Olney cuts to his left. Shot high and wide.
Philadelphia trying to find something, anything through the long ball, trying to exploit those gaps. Nothing doing there. Atlanta United 2 handles it comfortably.
Goal kick, Reyes, short to Efrain Morales. Back to Noah Cobb, 39th minute. Cobb across to Morales, forward to Tiente. Gets the first touch, draws the contact. Play continues. Firmino pulls it back. He's fouled. Vasquez commits the foul. We did have a no more signal before, but no yellow there. Noah Cobb. Efrain Morales. Back to Cobb. Crossing into the 40th minute. Riasco stands up Cobb, goes back to Reyes. Tiente drops between the two center backs, turns, spins to his right. Ball over the top for Firmino. It's a good one. Firmino into the 18, cuts back to his right. One more time to the right. Firmino lays it off to Timimi. Goal! 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 Atlanta United 2, Kareem Timimi.
Beautiful work by Firmino, drawing all the pressure to him. He made it look like he was going to be the one to take the final shot. He comes right in, drops it off. Beautiful shot back in the net. Rick had no chance.
What a ball by Tony Tiente from midfield to the chest of Nick Firmino. Firmino leading this team in goals, leading the team and league in goals. Great work from him to draw Craig in, lays it off when he can't get the shot off. And Kareem Timimi, first professional goal for the former Georgia Gwinnett Grizzly.
I still can't get over the weight of that pass. The weight on that pass was absolutely perfect.
Atlanta leading Philadelphia 1-0, 41st minute now as the Union kick off. Westfield, long ball into the attacking third. Morales wins the header over Raffanello. McFadden up the left side, picked off by Westfield. Pass inside to Odata, further forward to Vasquez. Morales comes away with it. Efrain Morales, pass inside to McFadden, gets it back to Efra. Good ball from Morales to find Tiente, breaking the pressure. Brennan out wide to the right to Lanza. Lanza can't quite save it, but the bravery from Atlanta United 2 playing through Philadelphia's press.
And that's what you have to do. That's the only way to break it. You can talk about going long. You can talk about these big hoofing passes. Get it out of there. The best way to beat the press, clean, simple, concise passing.
Castillo passes forward on the throw into Raffanello. Atlanta intercepts. Firmino down the right side for Brennan. That's not going to stay in bounds. Throw for Philly in the 42nd minute. 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Kareem Timimi's first goal of the season. Nick Firmino's first assist of the season. Tony Tiente gets the hockey assist there. Castillo with the throw. Headed forward by Raffanello. Philly will get a throw about 15 yards further up the field. Raffanello tried to get another 15 yards. Luis Guardia says no. Back up. Castillo didn't back up. Maybe backed up about 7 yards. Castillo now throws it back to Portela. Across to Brandon Craig. Westfield on it on the far side. Looking for the long ball over the top. Morales gets a boot to it, but Riasco into the 18. Cross blocked by Noah Cobb. Noah Cobb putting on a clinic defensively so far today.
Yes, absolutely. Love his positioning so far, his distribution, everything on point, exactly what you want out of the leader of that back line.
Philly corner, far side. In swinger to be delivered by David Vasquez. Vasquez, near post, headed back to the penalty spot. Tumasi wins the header but gets kicked in the face. It's Westfield who was involved in it. And Westfield just got a yellow. If Westfield, he must have not gotten the yellow in the incident with McFadden. It was on the far side. We couldn't hear. We were still reacting to it when the announcement was made. Opta has actually not updated. It was Riasco who got that yellow. So Westfield gets his first yellow. Tumasi, not sure how much contact happened there, but he stayed down. It's reckless from Westfield, but it's not with bad intentions.
Correct. It was an honest attempt to get to the ball. It's something where he needs to be smarter than that, not to draw the card, because now you have a member of your back line from Philadelphia sitting on a yellow. Now you can't play as physical. And another player has been potentially injured in the process. So you want to make sure, go for the ball, do your best. But trying to do a Shaw Brothers kick to retrieve it probably isn't the best solution.
Probably not. Westfield makes some contact with Tumasi, who's sitting up now. Noah Cobb having the conversation with Luis Guardia right now. Like to see that out of the 17-year-old. Tumasi being helped up to his feet now. See if he can continue. We're almost to the end of regulation. There will be stoppage time.
Guardia going and checking, making sure that there's no blood showing.
2 minutes. Tumasi can stay on the field because a yellow was issued in the foul, so he doesn't have to leave the field. And it wasn't the concern of a head injury. Almost have another one as Brennan goes in for a header. Low, kind of dove in low at Castillo. Foul's called on Brennan. Castillo might have been hit in a sensitive area.
Very.
So about 90 seconds of stoppage time. It's a Philly free kick just inside their own half. Portela plays it across to Brandon Craig. Craig passes forward. Alvarez, Odata, out wide to the left to Castillo. Up the left side to Olney. Olney cuts in on the right foot. Inside to Odata. Big switch from Odata to Westfield on the right. Westfield, Vasquez, Tumasi takes it away from him. Kareem Tamimi trying to get out down the left side. Odata runs him down. Tumasi intercepts another pass. Beautiful. League leader there. Firmino gives it back to Tumasi on the left side in the middle third. Firmino and Tumasi, two-man game. Tumasi over the top for Brennan. Castillo goes up, wins the header, goes through the back of Brennan. No call. Luke Brennan can't buy a call either. Vasquez with the okey-doke at midfield. Here comes Philadelphia. Down the right side to Riasco. Spins back to the left. Pass inside, intercepted once again by Kofi Tumasi. McFadden clears, foul called in the backwash, and that might just do it for the first half. Good 45 plus from Atlanta United, too. We haven't gotten the whistle yet. They might have to play this free kick. But everybody kind of acting like that's it. And Luis Guardia finally says that is it. 1-0 Atlanta United 2 at halftime. Nick Aliffi will hang out with Jarrett Smith. Halftime thoughts, scores from around the league coming up right after this on the SDH Network.
Welcome back to Kennesaw, Georgia. Atlanta United 2 leading Philadelphia Union 2 1-0 after a Kareem Tamimi goal late in the first half. And once again, Nick Firmino involved in it for Atlanta United 2, as he so often does seem to be. Alongside Nick Aliffi, I'm Jarrett Smith carrying you through halftime. And Nick, for Atlanta, goes about as well as it could have.
Absolutely. Well, what you saw was Atlanta in the first half, very calm, cool, collected passing. They had zero issues with Philadelphia's press. To their credit, they would find gaps, those key gaps that you need to find, and it always occurs in any press. Not every player meets their mark at the specific time required. What happens? Those passing spaces develop. Atlanta exploits it. They utilize the wings to perfection. They utilize the changing of sides to perfection as well. Anytime you have a pressing side, they tend to congregate on one half or the other, just to try to compress the field down. Do the big switch, you find the gaps on the wings. Atlanta did that, and the hold-up play by Firmino in the box was absolutely spectacular, drawing the pressure to him, pinging the ball right in, ball's in the back of the net. Rick had zero shot at stopping that.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty hopeless moment for him. And you talk about it, it's just the way they were going over the top. At least, and I was I'm in the other booth watching this. It seemed like Philadelphia playing that high of a line. Atlanta was trying to time those runs. Luke Brennan was very close a couple of times. Where if he gets through, it's 1v1 for 30 yards.
Right, it's prime real estate. What Philadelphia likes to do is they want their back line to get almost to the half line. If they can park right at the half line, that is their prime position. That's where they want to be. Atlanta United, the twos, finding that space and then taking the shots downfield. It does two things. One, if they time it right, you have a metric ton of real estate that you can take advantage of, and then it's just a foot race. But also, it's a little game of psychology as well. You put the ball long, now that back line has to say, oh, they're getting that timing a little bit better this time than it was last time. Maybe we should cheat back just a touch. And the more that back line pushes back toward their own goal, space develops. That allows Atlanta to play on the floor. exploit the gaps, put the ball in the back of the net.
We talk a lot of time about bravery, and it was a buzzword in Atlanta United 2's dressing room for the last few years. And I know you know more about the press than I do, so let's go there. About the bravery it takes. We talk about the bravery of playing through the press, but what about the bravery of playing with it? Because, yeah, if you are beaten by it, if you are late to your mark, like you said, the gaps and the dead duck existence is there.
Yeah, the way that the press works is it's one of two things. One, you have an individual matchup that occurs, and a pass that would normally be like a 70% or 80% completion percentage drops down to 50 because that person's right there. It gets into the back of your head. But it's also almost a Jedi mind trick. We want you as the pressing team to put the ball to this guy over here, because what's going to happen? Either we get a turnover and the ball's out of bounds, right? We get the ball back in a great position for us, or we have an opportunity where we collect the ball, a vertical or incisive pass. We're putting the ball on frame within 8 seconds. If we're able to do that, that's fantastic, outstanding for us. But at the same time, when those opportunities are there, that space starts to develop. I saw this out of Alvarez for Philly. He's not quite hitting his man quite as he should. It seems to me that there's a bit of space there in the second half that they can exploit. If he doesn't start reacting a little bit faster, that appears to me to be the gap that can be exploited. But the wings have been wide open all first half, and Atlanta has no problems hitting that.
3 yellow cards in the game so far. One for Atlanta United 2. That was Aiden McFadden picked up a yellow, and then Rasco picked one up after throwing McFadden to the ground. And McFadden decided he was about that life. And then Westfield gets one late. If you're a pressing team, how do those yellow cards impact the way you can be physical on that pressure?
It affects your timing. When you are in a pressing system, what you're taught is not to pull up on the press. You're taught to run through the press. If there's an opportunity where the player you are pressing loses possession of the ball and your momentum is carrying you forward, congratulations, you have a ton of real estate to exploit. The problem with yellow cards is you can't run through the press anymore. Now you have to pull up. If Guardia starts calling the game a little tighter than he did in the first half, what will happen is that little bit of contact, a player goes down, all of a sudden you are looking at potential of a second yellow. That's the last thing you want, especially if you're a pressing team, because that means there's more space that you have to cover. The yellow card changes everything, especially now the fact that it's on the back line. You have Westfield on the back line who has that card. It's going to be interesting to see if he's subbed out and when they elect to sub him out if they do so. Also, with McFadden, he has to keep his mind in the game. He has to make sure that even though he was thrown down to the ground like the Usos were jumping into the ring, he has to make sure that he doesn't allow that to take him out of the flow of the game. And like what happened to him, a yellow is issued. So Philly likes to do that. They like to gaslight you into making some decisions that may be questionable. Remain calm, take a breath the best you can, and stay within the game. Make them get the yellows. Don't get the yellows yourself.
If you're Philadelphia, how do you get back in this? I know Atlanta is not going to really change a lot of what they do, but as the game goes on, they might be willing to give you more of the ball. And Philadelphia is not a team we traditionally associate with creating with possession in the half court, metaphorically speaking.
Right.
Like a basketball team would create half court offense versus Stan Van Gundy doing, or the Runner Rebels, we're going to score in 8 seconds, put a shot up in 8 seconds. If you're a pressing team and you're in that situation, how are you able to create something?
Well, what you're trying to do is you're going to go long, and you are going to try to put Atlanta in the positions where the twos have to deal with corner kicks. They have to deal with deep throw-ins. They have to deal with free kicks. Look for Philly to start hitting the ground like crazy. And also, whenever they do get down toward their scoring into scoring opportunities, even if it's all blocked, if there are 2 or 3 twos players in front of them, they're going to put a low shot in to try to get it to ricochet off a twos player, get the corner kick, and then Grand Theft Auto style, rush the goal, try to get that cheap little flick on. That's the way Philly gets back into this game. And if you're Atlanta, you want to make sure you deal with the pressure. Don't allow those opportunities where the space gets exploited and they get corners, deep throws, and potential free kicks.
This halftime brought to you by Burnt Hickory Brewing, home of the Down South Hell's Lager, created in partnership with Atlanta United 2. Founded in 2012, our mindset is to create a beer for everyone and anyone. Beer is meant to be enjoyed, and everyone has their own definition of the kind of beer they enjoy. Our mission is to provide all tastes with a cold beer to sip on and an environment to relax and unwind from the daily grind. Taking a look around the league as we're wrapping up most of the action for MLS Next Pro this weekend. It all started Friday night with Austin tying Minnesota 1-1. Austin won at 6-5 on penalties. They went to the sixth kick. Must have been a fun time for everyone involved. Already in the books today. Columbus Crew 2 taking down Miami 3-2. Currently going on, and they're about to reach the end of it, and it actually looks like it is going to PKs. New England Revolution 2, Cincinnati 2, tied at 5, going to kicks. Winning team there gets 2 points versus 1 point. As you know, Atlanta currently 1-1 with Philadelphia. Chicago and Red Bulls are tied at 0 at the half. Also at the half, it is North Texas and Colorado at halftime, with North Texas leading 1-0. Toronto FC 2 over OCB, 1-0 at halftime as well. Another 1-0 score with Portland over Salt Lake City 2. That one is at halftime as well. The last two at halftime, it's St. Louis and Vancouver tied at 1, LAFC and San Jose. LAFC and San Jose just getting started, the 20th minute, still no score out on the West Coast. That's all for the rest of the day. And then, there's 3 more for the evening. Looks like we got a 7 o'clock kickoff still coming up tonight. That's New York City 2 with Charlotte. That's the Crown FC, who's been doing very well early on this year. You also have Sporting Kansas City 2, the Little Sporks, and Houston. They kick off at 8 o'clock, and then at 11 o'clock tonight, it's Tacoma Defiance and Los Dos. As far as the conference standings go, we mentioned Crown Legacy. Right now they're sitting on top with 13 points, 4 wins, no losses yet. Just 1 draw, plus 7 goal difference. OCB in second place. FC Cincinnati 2 is in third. Atlanta United 2 in the live table, actually up to 10 points, which have them tied for third place, sitting in fourth place on goal difference. Then it's the Baby Bulls in fifth place on goal difference as it stands with 10 points. New England Revolution 2 with 9 points. Columbus Crew 2 in seventh place with 8 points. Then it's New York FC 2, Chicago Fire 2, Inter Miami 2 in 10th place. Philadelphia Union 2 in 11th place. Toronto, and then Huntsville bringing up the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Out west, it's Austin FC 2 with 4 wins and 3 draws so far this year with 16 points. Colorado Rapids, Whitecaps, and Minnesota wrapping up the top 4 there. As we approach the end of halftime, Nick, anything else that you've noticed that you're really looking for in the second half?
The slips. We had slips from both teams in the first half. Now, if you're Atlanta United 2, you have to be very careful with the slips, because that can allow these opportunities for Philly to get one of these little cheap knock-on passes. And if you notice at halftime, they did not run sprinklers. So I'm thinking that inside the locker room, I'm hoping that some of the players elected to change their footwear perhaps to ensure that the slips did not happen. But to me, I know that sounds so silly, but slips are one of those things that can absolutely change a game if you are a 6 or if you're in the back line. So to me, that's something that I'm keeping my eye on. I know it sounds so trivial, but against a team that is looking for a cheap goal like Philly's going to be looking for, that could be one of those things that is a game changer.
And then looking for how they're going to start the second half, we see it a lot of times with teams. They come out of that locker room, and it is just hair on fire. And we talk about it sometimes. If you can just survive that first 10 to 15 minutes and then let the game resettle, if you're Atlanta, are you in a situation where maybe you're trying to slow things down a bit and keep it under your control?
I'm not trying to slow things down in a traditional mindset of we're going to run a low block and just absorb.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to play everything on the floor. I want the forwards for Philly to run themselves in circles. I want the midfielders to be running laterally, left, right, left, right, left, right. And to blunt that press, to blunt the physical nature of their game, make them a little bit slower. And for the first 15 to 20 minutes, they're going to come out hair on fire. Let's make them run laterally. Not so much vertical. Let's make them run laterally. Make them run in circles. And if we can do that, I think Atlanta United 2 is going to find themselves the beneficiary of that particular mindset.
Well, they've been really good at it so far this evening. We'll see how the next 45 minutes go along. It'll be Jason Longshore and Nick Aliffi carrying you the rest of the way from Kennesaw, Georgia.
1-0 Atlanta United 2 over Philadelphia Union 2. MLS Next Pro match day number 6. Philly will kick off in their light yellow and light blue kit. can't remember if this kit has a name. I think they all do at this point. Don't know what this one is, but it's a good-looking kit for Philly. Atlanta in the all-black. No stripes on the second team kit. All-black, red trim, gold print. Let's kick it for 45 more from the fraction. Philadelphia kicks off, moving from left to right on your radio dial. Westfield plays it inside. Vasquez. David Vasquez with the big switch to Juan Castillo. Headed forward, Olney chasing, Lanza there. Lanza clears up the right side. Alvarez. Back to Portela. Brandon Craig in his own half for Philadelphia. Westfield on the right. Deflected by Centeno, falls to Tiente. Centeno trapped, midfield, tries to turn, can't do it. Vasquez comes away with it. Cuts inside. Good work on the dribble by Vasquez. Forward to Raffanello. Morales is fouled, but it isn't called. Riasco comes away with it. Noah Cobb shuts the door. Cleared by Twumasi. Centeno spin cycle in the middle of the pitch. It works. Cobb out wide to the left to McFadden. Back to Morales. Cobb inside his 18. Reyes inside his 6. Through the middle to Tiente. Out wide to the right. Good ball, but to Lanza. Cobb. Lanza. Cobb earns the goal kick. Good pressure from Philadelphia, but Atlanta gets the goal kick. 47th minute.
Like what I'm seeing out of the two so far. Again, calm, steady pressure, being absorbed in the back. No problems.
Efrain Morales through the middle. It falls to Firmino. Firmino wrestling with Craig. Pass back to Tiente. No advantage there, and Luis Guardia brings it back for the foul. Craig had the arm bar on Firmino. Dean Malenko would have been proud of that.
Man of 1,000 holds.
Brandon Craig might have 2 or 3. Efrain Morales squared to Noah Cobb. Cobb up the right side. Brennan doesn't get to him. Castillo heads it out. Atlanta throw 40 yards from goal on the right. Sean Lanza. Atlanta United 2 debut. Throws in. Tamimi tries to leave it off for Brennan. Philly comes away with it. Castillo through the middle. Lays it off. Morales got fooled, but Tiente cleans it up. Reyes through the middle to Twumasi. Kicked away from him by Odata. Odata chips it into the 18. Nobody there. Goal kick. When Philadelphia gets that opportunity in the attacking third, that's where they're showing a little bit of the limitations of their identity.
You see them going long. You see these vertical and incisive passes, but you're not really seeing any sort of triangulation taking place. You're not seeing the easy back pass necessary to maintain possession.
Atlanta throw in the middle third. Castillo headed it out. Brennan can't spin away from Alvarez. Back to Firmino. Firmino on the dribble. Passes forward to Brennan. Brennan cuts in on the left. Brennan across the top of the arc. Squares it to Centeno. Back to Tiente. Tiente, big switch into the corner. Firmino's going to run that down. He's got Lanza with him. Firmino uses the run of Lanza as a decoy. Earns the throw. Philadelphia made a sub at halftime. We don't get the normal substitution rules in MLS Next Pro at halftime.
Viero looks like he came in for Alvarez.
That's Alvarez who left and Viero who checks in. Here comes Philadelphia down the left. Odata down the left side. Opportunity here for Philly into the 18. Cobb defending. Tamimi's dropped back to defend as well. Squared across to Westfield. Up the right side. Vasquez. Raffanello. Westfield. Westfield back into the middle. Fierro finds Vasquez. Bodied off the ball by Tiente. Tamimi gives it back to Tiente. Love the commitment to defend from Karim Tamimi when needed. Firmino dribbling into the attacking half, dribbling into the attacking third. Centeno down the left, cuts back on the right foot, chops it back, keeps going to the right, spins back to the left. Centeno tries to split two. Westfield knocks it away. Westfield clears. Morales there. Efrain Morales will dribble forward if needed. Has McFadden to the outside. McFadden all the way back to Reyes. Nice to have a goalkeeper that comfortable outside of his 18. Reyes plays a little 1-2 with Noah Cobb.
Dropped in a position of an outside back almost. That's how comfortable he is with the ball, Reyes.
Yeah, that positioning's key in that moment. You love to see a goalkeeper who's got the confidence to be not just 30 yards from his own goal, but out wide. Atlanta reshaped now. Morales. Reyes, top of his 18. To the right to Cobb. Cobb through the middle to Tamimi. Out wide to the right. Tamimi draws the foul. Taken quickly by Atlanta. Brennan, 1-2 with Firmino. Brennan dribbles inside of Portela. Behind Tamimi with the pass. Cleared. Cobb heads it forward to Amasi. Back to Lanza.
This is okay. Just work it around. Make him run.
Cobb doing just that. Morales, McFadden, Tiente. Up the right side, Centeno, but Tiente fouled by Odata.
One thing we talked about at half, making Philadelphia run laterally. Get them tired out. It's harder to press whenever you have two things happening. One, the player's willing to play out of position, their traditional position, like Reyes is willing to do as he's doing right now. And if you're tired of being made to run a lot, that press doesn't arrive on time. Space gets created.
Reyes just outside of his 18. Long diagonal to the right, looking for Brennan. Brennan tried to spin that back inside, didn't make contact. Castillo will take the throw. Mike Vieiro was the substitution at halftime, the 22-year-old from Caracas, Venezuela. He's on loan from Atletico Venezuela. He's in that holding midfield for Philadelphia in their rotating four. Thrown in, Tuamasi intercepted. Brennan wants to spin, can't find the space, fouls Castillo.
Very smart substitution by Philadelphia, swapping out Alvarez. One of the things I noticed was that he didn't seem to be hitting his pressing assignments on time. That space was being created there, so swap him out at half, bring in a player with some fresh legs.
Odata on it, edge of the center circle, drops it back to Portela. Tries to chip that forward, but Brennan steps back and regains it. Pass forward, Firmino offside.
I like it, though. I like it. Even if it's offside, I don't mind. You're playing a psychology game with Philly's defensive line. What you're saying is we're going to keep doing this. If you want to press forward, you want to try to compress the field, there will be a price to pay eventually.
Gino Portela across to Brandon Craig. Still haven't been able to find where Portela was born. We know he's Italian, but he came up in the Augsburg youth system. Long ball cleared by Cobb. It'll be a Philly throw about 25 yards off the end line. Played through the middle to Odata. Squared to the right to Westfield. 55th minute. Westfield gives it away. Tuamasi intercepts. Tuamasi upended by a late challenge by Vieiro. He gets a yellow card. Wild challenge there from Vieiro. Tuamasi with another interception. Deion Sanders would be jealous. leading the league, Kofi Twumasi, just always in the right place.
I love his game, his commitment to go in and fight for that 50-50 ball, his ability to read the game, jump in front of the pass, really shut down an attack before it even starts to build up. Fantastic player.
Atlanta making the substitution. Sean Lance's day is done at the 56th minute.
Entering the match number 3.
Aiden McFadden moves over to right back, and Fuad Adeniyi back into the team. Started early in the season, was in concussion protocol for a few weeks. Adeniyi will move from center back to left back today. Morales over the top. Checked up on Centeno. Westfield able to clear. Odata carrying forward. Vasquez tackled away by Adeniyi. Westfield throws it back to his goalkeeper, Andrew Rick. Portela up the left side to Castillo. Back to Portela, back to Rick. Rick skips the lines, looks for Castillo. He heads it forward. Riasco, high boot, catches Noah Cobb.
Again with the high boot.
Noah Cobb bravely goes for that header. Didn't really duck his head. He's kind of going straight through. But Riasco gets the foul. No yellow. Cobb getting back to his feet.
Second Philadelphia player to go flying in like a Mortal Kombat kick. Not really sure what he was trying to accomplish there.
I don't know if we're Mortal Kombat or Shaolin soccer here at this point. Cobb, free kick back to Reyes. Morales. Raffanello steps to him. Back to Reyes. Riasco, Raffanello, very compact through the middle with their press. Morales. Adeniyi. Firmino drops back to help. Tackled away from him by Vasquez. Odata, the Kenyan international, dribbling to the right, trying to get around Centeno. He does, but he's in the corner. Stuck. Adeniyi stands him up, wins it momentarily, still battling for it. Adeniyi doesn't get a foul called. Ball's right on the touchline. Doesn't go out. Now Adeniyi gets the call. Ball just sat on the touchline. Adeniyi was knocked over. Ref didn't want to call the foul, but at some point he's got to figure out some way out of that situation.
Stalemate situation down there. You have to get involved.
Finally,
not going anywhere.
He finally makes the call. Morales takes the free kick long. Won by Brandon Craig. 59th minute now. Philadelphia trailing 1-0. Aiden McFadden chops that one into the attacking half. Brennan chasing Castillo. Castillo, great ball up the left side. Here comes Philadelphia. Cross in. It's going to get all the way through. Adeniyi does have to deal with it. Clears it out for a throw. Reyes thought that was going out for a goal kick, but it just kept spinning back.
And this is probably the longest period of time it's taken for Philly to put a ball back into play.
Yeah, Westfield wants the longer throw. He takes it into the 18 over everybody's head. Cobb wins the header. Raffanello settles at top of the 18. Bodied off of it by Kofi Twumasi. Firmino run over from behind, gets the call. Foul on Odata. Wasn't there a warning a while back about no more?
I seem to recall a warning being issued.
Yeah, I think there's been about 15 fouls since then. Philadelphia, line change coming up. It's like 3 Philly players ready to check in. Our 4th official getting a workout here as we get the substitutions. Odata, Vasquez, and Riasco are out. Boubacar Diallo is one who has subbed in. Two more that we'll try to grab. I don't think those went up on the board. There we go. Stefan Stojanovic and Nelson Pierre. That's the 3 subs. 60th minute. Pierre, Stojanovic, 2 of the leading scorers for Philadelphia, and they're fresh with 30 minutes to go in this one. Morales gets it back from Reyes, dribbles forward. Long ball knocked down by Craig. Flicked forward.
Sorry, Philly yet again keying in on the Morales back pass. That seems to be one of the triggers that they're looking for.
Atlanta recovers possession. Kofi Twumasi flips the field on the dribble, lays it off to the right. Twumasi knocked down, no foul. Brennan's cross, knocked down by Castillo. Brennan looping backwards on the dribble. Back to Cobb.
Love it. Maintain possession, nothing silly.
Back to Reyes. Atlanta using a diamond shape to play against Philly's 2 forwards. Long ball, trying to find Tamimi. Portela has to clear. Atlanta throw. Atlanta uses that diamond against Philly's 2 forwards with Reyes at the base, Tiente in front, and the 2 center backs on either side. They've generally been able to play through the pressure.
Something I'm seeing is Portela's communication with Rick. There seems to be a bit of a challenge there. It's the second time Rick has come off his line.
Popped into the 18 for Atlanta. Portela slices that back down the middle of the field. Tiente wins the header. Craig wins another header. Falls to Tiente. Tiente lays it off. Adeniyi, cross, top of the 6. Craig spanks that one back out for a throw. Fuad Adeniyi will take the throw. Won the USL League One title with South Georgia Tormenta last season. Adeniyi bringing a big veteran presence to Atlanta United 2 this season. Back to Cobb. Reyes. Morales. Reyes. Morales. Reyes. Reyes. To the right to Cobb. Cobb up the right side. Castillo wins the header in front of Brennan. Falls to McFadden. Pops that forward. Twumasi battling for it. Earns the free kick. Yeah, what Atlanta's doing against Philadelphia's pressure is it's the 4 versus 2, and when it gets to Cobb or Morales, if there's nothing on, they play straight down the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's not complicated, but it's working really well for Atlanta United too, and Philly hasn't changed.
Well, it's one of the drawbacks of a pressing system is that there is no second gear. You have one gear to work through, and Philly is.
Tamimi recovered possession for Atlanta, but his through ball doesn't find anyone other than Andrew Rick. Rick spots a good release here out to the left. Philadelphia passed through the middle. Stojanovic tackled off of it by McFadden. Drop to Cobb. Cobb clears. Castillo knocks it forward. Stojanovic battling with Twumasi. Castillo there to support. Laid off by Diallo. Pass forward. Twumasi intercepts. Pass out to the right side to Brennan. Inside to Firmino. Firmino leading the break for Atlanta. Cuts back to the right around Portela. Nick Firmino, right-footed cross, looking for Tamimi. Craig heads it out for a corner. Nick Firmino has been the ultimate press breaker for Atlanta United.
His ability to control the ball, draw defenders to him, just create space all over the field. Philly having a very tough time dealing with him.
Use the word arrogant in terms of how Atlanta United 2 had to approach this in playing their game. I think Nick Firmino is the epitome of that in all the best ways. It's a swagger from Firmino on the ball. McFadden will take this corner from the far side. 65th minute. Outswinger. Top of the 6. Firmino goes up for the header. Philly able to knock that wide. Raffanello. McFadden wins the tackle. Overhits the cross to the back post. Had Firmino. Philly throw. That was an opportunity for goal number 2. McFadden just overhit the cross. Throw in Philly. Atlanta steps up to press. Thrown in long down the right side. Tiente volleys it forward to Mimi. Centeno. Adeniyi intercepted. Raffanello passes inside to Diallo. Good ball out wide to the right to Stojanovic. Stojanovic through ball attempt overhit. Easy for Vicente Reyes. Cobb. Tony Tiente. Splits the lines to Mimi. Mimi knocked off the ball. Pass forward. Here comes Philly. Quick transition. Pierre. To the left to Olney. Olney cross caught by Reyes.
Atlanta has to be careful with those sliding challenges. I know it seems like it's the fastest way to recover the ball, but it creates that space that Philly can exploit.
Reyes throws it out to Centeno. Drops to Adeniyi. Pass back inside to Centeno. Spins away from pressure. Firmino. Lays it off to Adeniyi. Adeniyi up the left side. Sliced away from the run of Luke Brennan. Brandon Craig throws it back to his goalkeeper, Rick. Gives it back to Craig. Diallo. Long diagonal down the left. Castillo. First time ball cleared by Morales at the top of the 6. Game starting to get stretched a bit. 67th minute. Juan Castillo throws in. Back to Viero. Portela. Craig. Brandon Craig launches a long diagonal headed away by McFadden. Castillo heads it down. Cobb clears. Portela volleys it forward. Olney fighting for it. McFadden wins it. Tiente. Header intercepted. Long shot. Raffanello wide.
I know in these moments when Philadelphia starts trying to compact the field, you think, okay, we just got to get it long. We got to do something crazy. No. Focus on the basics, the fundamentals. Find the easy pass. I know that's the thing we hear shouted every weekend during U8, U9 games. But find the easy pass, and that's the fastest, easiest, most efficient way to break the press and tire Philly out in the process.
Reyes goes for the long diagonal this time. Westfield wins the header. Settled by Viero. 1-2 attempt. Twumasi intercepted. Went down, wasn't called. Then Twumasi commits the foul on Stojanovic.
I'm okay with the foul.
Yeah, it's fine with the foul. Could have been a foul the other way, but it's not called. So it's it's a Philadelphia free kick. Close to 40 yards from goal. Olney standing over it. He had lots of input there from Raffanello.
Wind is going right to left on this.
Two-man wall for Atlanta. Olney chips into the 18. Header down. Foul called initially. Adeniyi was knocked over. Portela committed the foul. Free kick Atlanta. Maybe a little bit of that veteran savviness from Fuad Adeniyi.
I have no problems with that.
Do what you got to do. Noah Cobb up the right side. Brennan able to shield off the defender. Brennan on a long run. Knocked over. Cleared away. It's going to be a yellow card. Yellow card on the foul. Then it was cleared away down the street. It might have hit my car.
Philadelphia Union 2 yellow card in the 78th minute.
Tried to get a sliding tackle in.
Gino Portela.
Portela got the yellow, but clearing the ball, I almost into the parking lot. Didn't quite make it to the parking lot. That didn't get the yellow. Interesting. 70th minute, Atlanta United 2 free kick.
Jason, there's going to be a great number of mysteries that people are going to have to dig into after this, but
yeah, we've had a few of those. It's been an interesting match in terms of the match control. Not a shock when it's Atlanta and Philadelphia.
yeah.
McFadden will take the free kick. We're into the 71st minute. Header away by Philadelphia, well defended. Raffanello runs this one down, launches it long. Centeno back to defend, heads it away from Pierre.
The right call. Just head it out, slow down the pressure, allow your team to catch up.
Nelson Pierre, the 18-year-old homegrown from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. 1 goal, 2 assists this season. Scored 5 goals last year in 20 games. Laid off to Westfield, inside to Pierre, corner of the 18, cuts out to the wide right. Pierre, cross, intercepted by Morales, out for a corner. You see that burst from Nelson Pierre. Morales dealt with the cross well.
Atlanta has to be careful right now for the amount of pressure that's going to be rushing that goal here in the next 5 to 10 seconds.
C.J. Olney out-swinging corner from the near side. Near post, headed down, over and wide. Did it take a deflection? AR and center official confer. It's going to be a corner. Olney will get another crack at it.
This is exactly where Philadelphia wants to be.
Olney, outswinger, near side, 72nd minute. Back post this time over everybody. McFadden can control it in the 18 and turn and clear. Long ball, Castillo runs it down. Brennan pressuring Rick. Plays through the middle. McFadden wins it. To Mimi. Good first touch. Better second touch. Spins out to the right. Firmino in the 18. Pulls it across. Didn't connect with Brennan. Great idea from Nick Firmino, trying to play playmaker that time. Olney's pass intercepted by Cobb. Tumasi. Squares it to the left to Fuad Adeniyi. Adeniyi underlaps Centeno. Centeno. Step over. Cuts in on the right. Tiente. All the way back to Morales. Cross to Cobb. Pierre giving chase. Blocks the clearing ball. It's out for an Atlanta throw.
That opportunity.
74th minute.
Atlanta's going to want that one back.
Subs from Atlanta United 2 now. Kareem Tamimi's night is done, as is Eric Centeno. Alan Carlton into the match. David Mejia also into the match. Mejia has an option off the bench for Atlanta United 2 this season. He's created 3 chances in limited minutes. Free kick Atlanta in the attacking half as Brennan is fouled.
Also for Atlanta United 2, exiting the match, number 9, Kareem Tamimi.
So Firmino's going to go up top. Carlton will drop into that 10 role that Firmino's been playing. Good run from Carlton. Delivery wasn't there from McFadden. Philadelphia intercepted. Tumasi chasing back. Can't commit the foul. Diallo to the left. Philadelphia into the attacking third. Through ball. Tumasi gets there first. Knocked over. No foul called there. Corner.
The corner given in the process. Insult to injury.
Yeah. Tumasi steps out quickly to prevent the short corner. Little things that Philadelphia does so well. That bump called a foul many times, but it's not here. They get a corner out of it.
Watch out for Stojanovic.
In swinger from Olney. Top of the 6, McFadden wins the initial header. Stojanovic heads it forward. McFadden clears it again. Diallo plays it back to Castillo. Brennan chasing. Firmino intercepts. Out on the right. Dribbles past one. Chopped down. Nick Firmino on the dribble has been causing Philly all kinds of problems. That could have been a card in transition. It's not.
That's my thought. My thought on that is that he clearly had possession of the ball. The Philly player was beaten. The foul comes in. It should have been a card.
Boubacar Diallo, the academy product for Philadelphia. Son of the MLS forward Mamadou Diallo. The long diagonal to Brennan. Lays it off to Carlton. Carlton cross looking for Firmino. Craig clears it away for an Atlanta corner.
Excellent burst from Carlton. His ability to change gears on that run really opened things up.
Carlton is deceptively fast. He doesn't look fast, but he's got those long legs that cover so much ground. He's at the top of the 18 on this corner. Mejia will take it from the far side. Outswinger. Firmino looping around. Tuamasi now going near post. Over the head of Tuamasi. Not clean contact there. Philadelphia able to clear. Trying to counter, but Noah Cobb puts a stop to that. And Cobb launches across. It actually wasn't bad at all. Rick ran it down. Now Philly's trying to counter down the left side. Castillo. Further up the left side. McFadden there to intercept. Tuamasi on the dribble. Curls around to his left. Misses Mejia with the pass. Here comes Philly. Into the 18. Stojanovic. Shot. Reyes pulls it down. Shot / cross. There was a runner through the middle in Nelson Pierre. Reyes makes the catch anyway.
Can we talk about Cobb's run there for a moment? His ability to go from the back line all the way up forward, put a stop to that immediately, and then put a dangerous ball in.
Atlanta had peeled off, or that cross would have found somebody. Good long diagonal from Reyes. Headed out for an Atlanta throw. They get a second throw here as they get into the attacking half. 78th minute, 1-0 Atlanta. Firmino, shirt grab, still able to make the pass. McFadden, back to Cobb. Morales, Reyes.
Make a move laterally.
Cobb, up the right side. Firmino brings it down. Brennan overlaps. Firmino dribbles inside. Step overs, multiple. Dribbles past Portela. More step overs. Left-footed shot. Blocked by Craig. Carlton, spin cycle. Goes down. Firmino goes down. Gets up. Lays it off to Mejia. Adeniyi back to Mejia. Mejia shot blocked by Portela. Top of the 6. Philly breaks down the right. Pierre 1v1 with Morales. 79th minute. Pierre takes him to the outside. Cross. Missed. Raffanello did not hit it. Cobb clears. Philly corner. This game is all over the place right now.
Nelson Pierre for Philly. Fast breakdown on the wing. Put the pass in absolutely perfect. Raffanello was right there, and instead it just shot right under his foot.
Cobb cleared and then took out the signboard behind the goal. Philly corner.
When I tell you that pass from Pierre was absolutely note perfect, it could not have been any better.
Olney, corner, looping to the back post. Stojanovic volleys it into Mejia. Mejia clears. Raffanello passes back to Castillo. Castillo floats it into the 18. Over everybody's head. Atlanta goal kick.
It's not going to appear on any stat sheet, but Carlton's movement right there to apply the pressure, to make Castillo go long with it. It forced Castillo to go a little faster than he wanted to. The pass was misplaced. Carlton's not going to end up on any stat sheet for that, but that is an absolutely critical move from him.
Cobb long up the right side. Brennan can't get there. Castillo plays it back to his goalkeeper, Rick. Brandon Craig says send it. Rick complies. Flicked on to Raffanello. Flicked on again, cleared by Adeniyi. Philly throw 10 yards inside their own half. 80th minute. Atlanta 1, Philadelphia 0. Laid off, Brennan intercepts. Pass blocked, Atlanta throw. Aiden McFadden will take it. Into the 81st minute. The rivalry between the first teams of these two clubs extending now to the second teams. This game's got a really nice level of intensity to it. Atlanta will get another throw at midfield. McFadden's going to let Philadelphia chase this one out from under the bench.
Take all the time you want. Check the ambient air temperature, the weather pattern. Doesn't matter. Just eat up any bit of clock you can.
Carlton knocked over as the throw went to Firmino. No foul. Here comes Philadelphia. Raffanello, 1v1 with Morales. Cuts to the left. Raffanello, shot saved by Reyes. Great positioning by Vicente Reyes on the near post. Made that save look easy. Raffanello showing his quality there. Just dropped the shoulder, went to the left. Got past Morales. Reyes punts straight down the middle, nobody home.
Excellent burst from Raffanello there. Probably a little bit you would have to think of wanting to get that missed opportunity back in that run, but that's what Reyes brings you, that calm, collected presence between the pipes.
Morales, Adeniyi playing off of that calm, collected presence. Able to deal with a Philadelphia long ball. Cobb clears. Knocked down to Carlton. Carlton lays it off to the right to McFadden. Earns the throw. Philadelphia substitution coming. Raffanello, that's it for him. A little surprising there.
Philadelphia Union 2 substitution in the 82nd minute.
I don't know if I would have taken Raffanello off in that situation. He's highly motivated to find the back of Atlanta's net. With a missed opportunity, from a confidence perspective, you would want him to get more opportunities. But
Alex Perez checking into the match, one of the Union Academy players. McFadden commits a foul on the right side for Atlanta. Philadelphia free kick. Now we're getting another no more signal from Luis Guardia. I think maybe specifically about delaying restarts. Portela squared across to Craig. Westfield almost dribbles it out. Regains possession. Perez. First touch, a good one. Across. Diallo. Can't control it. Brennan walks the tightrope, keeps it in. Luke Brennan forward to Firmino. Firmino drop back to Twumasi, back to McFadden. Touches forward, Carlton. Out wide to the right, Firmino. Brennan. Carlton. Twumasi. Morales. Cobb. Reyes. Over the head of Mejia. Westfield's going to let that go out for a throw. 84th minute.
Stojanovic moving into the danger position for Philly.
Yeah, he's moved up top now. Firmino fouled. Portela committed it.
Stojanovic a larger body than Raffanello. Maybe that's what they're hoping for.
Different kind of number 9 now. You have Pierre up there as well. Tiente standing over the free kick inside the center circle. Pops this out wide to the left. Comes up short of Adeniyi. Atlanta's got to recover. Mejia dropping into a left back position right now. He's got to deal with Diallo. Diallo. 1v1 with Mejia. Passes to Pierre. Inside. Cross. Blocked by Adeniyi. Cross again. Header down. Reyes save. Stojanovic with the header. Reyes with the save. That's how quick Philly can flip the field, though.
It takes no time at all for him. And Stojanovic, again, larger body, able to jump up and get that header Reyes up to the task. This is what we mean by no cheap opportunities. Even if you were down and you were at the goal line for Philly, it doesn't matter. Their ability to take the ball and put it right back downfield on is so quick, so dangerous.
Philly now with a throw after Reyes shanked the punt. Stojanovic. Down the left side. Wind picking up here in Kennesaw. Passes back inside. Castillo. Cross caught by Reyes. 86th minute. Atlanta United 2 trying to do something that they have never done, win their third match in a row. There was a 7-match unbeaten streak in 2019 in USL Championship, but draws broke up a winning streak of 3. Atlanta trying to do that here. Firmino lays it off to Mejia. David Mejia. Brennan offside. And a yellow card. Brennan and Viero jawing.
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 86th minute, number 7, Luke Brennan.
Brennan will take the yellow. Not too big of a deal there. Brennan's got a little bit of that spicy attitude at times in matches. I think it serves him well. Rick. Free kick up the left side to Portela. Portela long. Headed inside by Stojanovic. Pierre on it now. Lays it off to the left. Cross. Caught by Reyes. Commanding his 18.
Oh, God, I absolutely love it. His ability to go in and just clear out traffic, collect the ball midair.
Reyes with the punt. Down the right side. Firmino. What a first touch by Firmino. He beats Castillo with it. Firmino into the attacking third. Pulls it back. Brennan. Gives it back to Firmino. Looping around to the left. Firmino passes through to Carlton. Into the 18. Cross. Cut back. Just behind Mejia.
No one there.
Here comes Philly down the right side. Diallo. Defended by Twumasi. Stojanovic cuts back for him. Atlanta reshaping. Westfield up the right side now for Philly. Gets it back from Diallo. 88th minute now. Viero. Passes forward to Stojanovic. Lays it off to Twumasi. Mejia looking for Firmino. It's intercepted. Stojanovic. Pierre. Back to Stojanovic. What a tackle from Kofi Twumasi. Pass forward to Tiente. Here comes Atlanta into the attacking half.
Put that tackle on any Serie A highlight. I guarantee it'll show up.
What a turn from David Mejia around Westfield. Pushed in the back. Didn't get the... Oh, he does get the call. Mejia spun around Westfield and drew the foul. But that tackle from Kofi Twumasi, exquisite.
As a fan of defensive soccer in general, I find myself being quite excited by that particular tackle.
I thought you would like that.
Very Nesta-esque on that interaction.
Mejia and Carlton standing over the free kick. Into the 89th minute. 90 seconds of regulation time. Mejia curls it into the 18. Portela heads it away. Philly dropped everybody back to defend that. Atlanta recovers it at midfield. Cobb. Long diagonal, trying to get it to Mejia. Westfield doesn't come off of him. Mejia almost got away with a little bit of a push in the back to knock Westfield into it. Goal kick played to Portela. Up the left side to Castillo. We are into the 90th minute. Castillo cuts inside on the dribble. Back across now to Westfield. Lays it off to Perez. Perez. Stojanovic flicks it on. Cobb clears it into the sky. Headed down by Diallo. Pierre wants to turn. Does. Adeniyi stands him up. Overlap from Diallo. Cross from inside the 18. Headed away. Olney Far side, another cross. Gets through everybody. Offside position, though. Diallo should have just let that go because Westfield was running up to it.
He even put his arm up saying, I'm offside, and then, okay, I'm still going to put my foot on it. Diallo, one of those instinctive moments.
Just fall down, dive over the end line, get out of the way somehow. How much stoppage time?
The flag's here at fifth, third. Fully extended, full value wind.
3 minutes of stoppage time. Philly's got the wind at their back somewhat. Atlanta's got to defend. About 150 more seconds now. Kofi Tuamasi. Out to the right to Carlton. Forward to Firmino. Lays it back to Carlton. Flipped forward to Firmino. Trying to hit Brennan on the through ball. Castillo intervenes. Clears. McFadden heads it down. Here comes Philly. Through the center circle. Perez. Back to his left. Looking for options. Down the left side. It's C.J. Olney. 1v1 with McFadden. Takes him to the inside. McFadden takes him to the end line. Cuts him off. Olney loops back around. Castillo. Back up that left side for Philadelphia. Cross. Stojanovic chests it down. Cobb there. Stojanovic inside pass. Diallo tries to get the shot. Cleared by Adeniyi. Firmino. Dribbling through the middle third. Out to the left. Step over. Tackled by Craig. Nick Firmino running on fumes. Still earning the free kick.
I'm looking for a card.
Yeah.
You can't. Firmino is clearly in control of the ball. The defender is drawn to him, tackles him, no attempt to get the ball at all. That should be a card.
Luis Guardia disagrees. Free kick, deep in stoppage time now. Efrain Morales, good hesitation, passes forward to Tiente. Mejia down the left. Pulls it back, has Adeniyi. Further back to Morales. Further back to Reyes. Pierre chasing. Reyes bombs it forward. Rick will gather this in at the top of his 18. Sets it down. Time getting away from Philadelphia. Atlanta trying to finish this out. Headed forward. Adeniyi heads it back. Philly finds the handle. Tuamasi with another tackle.
Amazing.
Kofi Tuamasi looking for Firmino on the long ball. Portela puts it out for a throw.
Tuamasi putting on a clinic today.
I'm really curious to see what you and Jarrett Smith come up with for the 3 stars of the night. We go hockey style, Nick. It's 3 stars. So start thinking. Still a little time left. McFadden with the throw. Intercepted by Castillo. Here comes Philly. Into the attacking half. Perez. Big switch for Diallo. Adeniyi is there. Passes back to Reyes. Reyes with the left foot. Clears it into the middle third. Craig settles it. Brandon Craig. Brandon Craig carrying it forward. Craig. Big diagonal switch. McFadden wins the header. Philly throw. And that will do it. 3rd win in a row for Atlanta United 2 as they take care of the Philadelphia Union 2 1-0. Karim Tamimi with the goal. Nick Firmino with the assist. And Atlanta with their 3rd win in a row.
Absolutely love what I saw out of the twos tonight. I'll give you a cheat on who one of my 3 is going to be. That's Tuamasi. His ability to read every pass coming out of the midfield, shutting it down. Philly really wants 1 pass, 2 pass, and then no options, and then boot it long. That was, in my opinion, the undoing of the Philadelphia 2 tonight.
A great team performance by Steve Cook's Atlanta United 2. 3rd win in a row for the first time in club history. Jarrett Smith and Nick Aliffi will lead you through post-game right after this.
did, from a possession standpoint, triangulation, finding spaces, making sure that the pressure never got to Reyes. Reyes didn't have to do much of anything on that. He was able to make clean, controlled passes out. Tomasi being an option not only for the outlet, but also from a defensive perspective. And can we talk about Firmino? His ability to he would draw 2, 3 Philadelphia players at a time. Did not matter. He would carry the ball, create space, allow his teammates opportunity to put the ball on frame. You can't ask anything else out of the twos than what you got tonight.
It felt like a really selfless performance from this team, even honestly a little bit too much so late in the second half, where you get that opportunity for Firmino, lays it off in the middle of the box where I think he was expecting Brennan to make a run, but it felt like that kind of performance where everybody was kind of helping each other and lifting each other up throughout the game.
Well, that's one of the key things, is that where teams like Philadelphia and the Red Bulls, where they get you is by when you try to do too much, when you try to press a little too hard. No, in this situation, you play the ball to each other, you work for each other in a united front. Atlanta was able to do that. The twos come out with the victory as a result. Philadelphia had no options toward the end other than try to boom it long and see if you can get somebody to stumble and fall. When the twos started playing to each other, working the wings, then working back, setting the back up in front of Reyes, and then building back up, it changed the game for Philadelphia. Philadelphia had no options. 1 pass, 2 pass, go long. And when you have a team that's willing to control the ball and play through the press, then you get the result that you got tonight.
Well, we talk a lot of time about guys being forged in the fires of really tough competition and tough lessons, and feels like that's been something for you talked about in goal Vicente Reyes, who last year faced a lot of shots. He was in a shooting gallery, had some games where he would give up 3-4 goals and still have man-of-the-match caliber performances, and it looks like those performances have really led to what he is now. He looks so calm no matter how tense that game got.
Yeah, it's all about repetition. With repetition, building upon the basics, building upon the fundamentals, it allows you to perform at a higher level. You know when you can take risks and when you can't. And what you saw to Reyes tonight is there were times when he would leave his line, work out to the left side of the pitch, almost as an extra passing outlet. Not even an extra defender, an extra passing outlet. And that confuses a press, because now you have an extra person you have to worry about distributing the ball. And you could see whenever Reyes would drop out, no one would go to him. They would have bodies on everyone else. Reyes has the ball. He can either boom it long, or he can hold it, wait for somebody, invite pressure to him, and then do a clean distribution, which he did time and time again. And that only happens when you have the repetitions, that shooting gallery that you talked about, going through the bruises of having opportunities taken against you, pay off in games like this.
Those Oklahoma drills pay off after a long time. Once you put up the pads and get in the middle of those drills, you learn something from them, even though you don't want to at the moment. You talked about Nicholas Firmino as well and how selfless he was. Leads the league in goals, gets an assist tonight. Tried to lay off for another assist, maybe could have had a goal. Just his performance. I mean, I know. Not everyone's had a chance to get out and see him, but if you're trying to sell him to people, how are you selling Nicholas Firmino?
Fearless. Absolutely fearless with the ball at his feet. His ability to invite pressure and then work through it. I lost count of the number of times that he went carrying the ball, whether it's in the wing or in centrally. Defenders would gravitate to him. It didn't matter to him. If I'm trying to sell him, what I'm saying is you can put him in any situation, a pressing team, a traditional line, a possession-based team. It doesn't matter. He can thrive under that pressure. And players like that are the ones you want on your team. When the chips are down, that fearless player who says, give me the ball, I'll take the punishment, it doesn't matter. That, to me, it was an exceptional performance tonight.
Anyone else on that roster? I know we've gone over a number of names. Anyone else stick out to you that we've missed that you wanted to highlight for their performance this evening?
It's Tomasi. His ability to, when Philly was trying to drive centrally, and keep in mind, I know I say these buzzwords time and time again, it drives people nuts. Vertical and incisive passing. That's the way these pressing teams work. 10 seconds to collect the ball, 8 seconds to put a shot back on frame. Tomasi would read that pressure and then find ways to handle those one-on-one matchups. Collect the ball, phenomenal tackling, and then clean distribution on the way out. Sometimes you get these defensive midfielders who they're sort of a one-trick pony. They can do these crunching tackles. It's almost having a libero in place. Not with Tomasi. He's able to defend, collect the ball, distribute. Outstanding performance from him. And what that allows is your back line to then take more risks going forward. And you saw that tonight with Noah Cobb.
Yeah, Noah Cobb is one that I know a lot of people have seen. There's the expectation of as well. I think the thing that sticks out for me for Noah Cobb is just the composure on and off the ball. Like even when he's breaking up trouble, watch him move, watch the way he carries himself. It just looks like a day at the office for him at this point.
It's wild to see a player that young make the decisions that he made repeatedly. Anyone can do something once perfectly. Once. To do things at an extraordinarily high level over and over and over again, that is the definition of skill. He is a very, very skilled defender. There were times that he would push forward and come from the back, and he was defending in the attacking half. And not only coming in with the sweeping challenge at a critical time, but then distributing the ball accurately. That, to me, is the mark of someone whose ceiling is extraordinarily high. Is that not only can he defend his timing, his space, his ability to read the game, shutting off the quick pass, but then also can he distribute the ball really well out of the back. Noah Cobb could do it all. He's absolutely somebody you need to keep your eye on. If you are a fan of the first team and you're wondering about who's next, you come out here to the Fraction, you watch Noah Cobb play, and I'm going to tell you who's next.
Jarrett Smith and Nick Aliffi wrapping up Atlanta United 2's 1-0 victory over Philadelphia Union 2. As you heard earlier, the first time in club history that Atlanta United 2 has won 3 straight games. Great way to end the first month and end of a very home-heavy part of the schedule. I wanted to ask you, Nick, before we get you out of here in a bit, about Sean Lanza. Kid plays left back today.
Yep.
Out of the academy, first professional start against a team that is not going to let you rest. I wanted to get your thoughts on his performance.
Anytime you see a player come up from an academy to any sort of professional situation, the first thing you have to understand is that you're going against players who aren't worrying about algebra tests on Monday. They got a paycheck, and they're trying to keep that paycheck coming in. And so they have no problems going against academy kids. They have no problems going against other professionals. And so it's easy to identify academy kids. Usually. I was not able to identify him as an academy kid today. He absolutely looked the part of the professional, sweeping down the wings, calm and composed in possession. His distribution was fantastic. I know I've said that word 5 million times tonight. I don't care. His ability on the ball was outstanding. He did everything you wanted him to do in this situation. When you call an academy kid up, typically it's almost the doctor's creed, do no harm, right? It was more than that. He was a critical asset in the build-up play, in the attack, that Philly had no answers for.
Taking a look at some of the stats as we've gone through some of the players, looking at what happened tonight. The expected goals, actually, Philadelphia won that out, 1.59 to 0.43 for Atlanta. Atlanta generated one chance, and they took it. Philadelphia registered 3 big chances. 3 missed big chances. I think the biggest one was in the second half, a sliding ball across the box.
Oh, Raffanello. Raffanello's good. It's going to be a very, very long trip for Raffanello tonight. He had the ball put in perfectly by Nelson Pierre. Pierre on the right wing sends a cross in that was note perfect. I can't use any other term for it. It was note perfect. The positioning, the timing. Raffanello was right there. The timing was on the letter. However, his foot came in a little high, probably about a foot off the ground. Had it been coming in a little more shallow, the ball's in the back of the net. Instead, it goes right under his foot. He's going to be thinking about that one for a very, very long time. Philadelphia had their chances. But also, let's not forget that there were 2 crosses by the Twos tonight that had somebody been on the back post, this is a very different ball game. You're talking about a 3-0 win in that case. This is not, I know what the stats are saying, but if you're watching the game, Atlanta United 2 controlled this game. Not in a low block, not just playing ping pong in the midfield. They were dangerous in possession. They were clean and clinical in defense. You did everything you wanted to do. You're walking out of here 1-0 on the victor's side. The fans are happy. The kids are clapping and cheering. They're getting autographs. Love it.
All right, Nick, well, we appreciate you jumping in tonight, and we're going to let Nick get out of here. We'll go over the stats. We'll go over what's going on around the league, and then we'll get you set up for the next game for Atlanta United, too. As we take a look at the rest of the stats, it's Philadelphia winning on shots 11-8. Shots on target, Philadelphia 5-3. Both teams had 7 shots in the box. Nobody rung the woodwork this evening. As far as total possession, about what you'd expect from an Atlanta United team. They had 55% of the ball, had a little bit more of it. More passes. Both teams kind of connecting and disconnecting on passes. And I think some of this was part of the way that Nick talked about with the way Atlanta went long at times over the top, especially with Philadelphia playing that high line that you mentioned. They still attacked it in the second half with the long ball.
Yeah, I know that it's easy to question why do they keep going long? Nothing's coming of it. Well, the number of times that an Atlanta United 2 player was just barely offsides, just barely. It gets into the back of your mind if you're a defender, because each time the Twos sent the ball long, they were so close to being able to break something open. And against a pressing team, what you want to do is compress the field. You want your back line almost at the half. That leaves a ton of real estate between the back line and Rick, their keeper. What happens? 1 long ball, 2 long balls, 3 long balls. That back line starts cheating back, trying to protect that distance, that yardage between the back line and Rick. Saw several times. You saw Portela yelling at Rick, and Rick yelling at Portela because they were trying to get their communication, their distance down, because the Twos kept exploiting it, trying to go long. There's nothing wrong with that because it makes the pressing teams stretch. They don't want to do that. It's very uncomfortable for them. More space means more opportunity for high percentage passes, which if you are Philly, you absolutely don't want. Perfectly executed. Think of it like in boxing, like a jab. Not every jab is going to land. You're not going to knock your opponent out, but what you're doing is you're gauging distance each time. Each time you throw that jab, and you're giving your opponent something to think about. Think of those long shots as sort of a jab, if you're thinking about it in that format. And in that way, it was very effective.
Yeah, I think about it. The analogy comes to mind for me a lot of times is when you're running. When you're running running plays in American football, you're softening up the defense. Those 2-yard carries early in the game don't feel like much, but later in the game they turn to 4 yards, 5 yards,
Absolutely.
6 yards. You soften it up, you create that space, and you talked about wanting to be able to create that space and that separation between the back line and the midfield. And then if you get situations like we saw tonight when Atlanta's able to bring David Mejia on the field, when Luke Brennan's on the field, when Nicholas Firmino's on the field to win the 1v1s, all of a sudden that mile of space, the distance between that back line, means a lot more when you've eliminated that defender in the midfield and you've had room to run, had room to get numbers. Taking a look around the league, outside of Atlanta United 2 in their victory tonight, we mentioned already Friday it was Austin taking on Minnesota. They drew 1-1. Austin won 6-5 in penalties. As far as the action today, a lot of it has concluded, not 100% of it, however, though. Columbus over Miami 3-2. New England and Cincinnati tied at 5. New England won 5-4 on penalties, so the Revs, too, will take 2 points with them. Chicago and New York Red Bulls, too, the Baby Bulls. They both finished scoreless. However, it was the Baby Bulls with a 3-0 win on penalties. Colorado beat North Texas 4-2. Orlando picking up a victory over Toronto 3-2. Salt Lake City over Portland 5-1. St. Louis City 2. Vancouver 2-1. So St. Louis with a 2-1 victory there. You got a bit of action already going on still with LAFC 2. San Jose, they're in the 79th minute, still scoreless. also have Sporting Kansas City 2 and Houston 2. They are scoreless as well. Just getting started in the 7th minute. Looks like we've got a delay out of New York City and Charlotte. They were supposed to kick off at 7 o'clock. Looks like they have not done so yet. And then Tacoma and L.A. kicking off late tonight, 11 o'clock. You could get MLS Next Pro after dark. That is an uncontrollable substance that we have not tested yet. That has not been FDA approved for anybody. So once again, taking a look at the final numbers, it's Atlanta United 2-1, Philadelphia Union 2-0. Atlanta United 2 picking up their 3rd straight win, first time in club history. It was Kareem Tamimi getting his first professional goal in the process. Nicholas Firmino picking up an assist, adding a little bit more to his card as he already leads the league in goals for Atlanta United 2. Taking a look at the conference standings as it looks right now, and it's Orlando City still in first place with 14 points. Jumping to first place with 14 points with their performance today. Crown Legacy in second place with 13 points. Columbus Crew 2 have 11 points. New England Revolution 2 have 11 points as well, along with New York. Atlanta United 2 sitting in 6th place with 10 points. FC Cincinnati with 8 points. New York City, Chicago Fire sitting on 7 points. Inter Miami with 6 points. Philadelphia Union have 5. Huntsville has 4. And Toronto FC 2 with 1 point. So a good day at the office for Atlanta United 2 as they're able to stay on the top side of the table, staying within shouting distance of being in a very good spot before they take this trip on the road coming up. And we mentioned it but in pregame that Atlanta United 2 has a lot of games coming up on the road. You do have 1 or 2 home games next month, but April was a very home-heavy month for the Twos. So they will have a lot to do as they get on the road and try and take this show out to continue this winning streak. Well, that about wraps it up from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Action at the Fraction has concluded. For Jason Longshore, for Nick Aliffi, I'm Jarrett Smith. Take care, everybody.